Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to peel back the layers on how one of the world's absolute biggest fast food giants built an empire. And here's the real hook. They didn't just build it on burgers and fries. Nope. It's built on a brilliantly hidden strategy. We're going to break down one of the smartest business models ever created, kind of like piecing together a massive puzzle that most people sitting in the drive-thru literally never even realize is happening. So let's kick things off with a quick question. Just ask yourself, if you owned this global fast food giant, would you actually make most of your money selling food? Or from something else entirely? Sounds kind of crazy, right? Because you picture the packed restaurants, the fryers going, dollar bills exchanging hands over the counter. But as we're going to see, the real secret to this colossal success isn't just sitting on that plastic tray. Section 1. The fast food illusion. Look, everyone sees those busy restaurants and naturally assumes the cash is all in the meals. I mean, selling burgers and fries makes logical sense, but the true engine of their wealth, it's kept locked away like a vault. The whole day-to-day operation of flipping burgers is really just the surface level of a much deeper, far more lucrative game. And to understand how they pulled this off, well, we have to look back at where it all started. Section 2. Expanding the Golden Arches. The story actually begins way back in 1940 with this small, localized restaurant in California. It was super successful but totally contained. The real turning point arrived in the decades following when a businessman named Ray Kroc stepped in. He saw its incredible potential for the future. But to achieve the rapid global expansion he was dreaming of, he hit a wall. Funding it all himself, that would be painfully slow and wildly expensive. He needed a way to grow the footprint fast without carrying the whole financial burden. His absolute stroke of genius? Franchising. Instead of corporate footing the bill to open and run every single new spot, everyday entrepreneurs basically pay for the privilege to use the company's brand, the menu, and that proven operating system. That meant the company could expand rapidly all over the world, essentially on the backs of other people's capital and hard work. It was a massive game changer. But you know what? That's still only half the secret. Section 3. The Real Estate Empire. Here is where it gets wild. While the public sees a fast food chain serving millions of meals every single day, the true wealth is literally right beneath their feet. A massive chunk of their actual business, and honestly their most reliable wealth, comes from acting as a global real estate juggernaut. They aren't just in the burger business. They are deeply, deeply entrenched in the land business. Corporate often steps in and buys or leases the actual land where the restaurants operate. It's this brilliant three-step cycle. First, corporate secures the land, either buying it or leasing it. Next, the franchise owner, that independent entrepreneur we just talked about, comes in to manage all those exhausting day-to-day restaurant operations. And finally, corporate creates a steady, rock-solid income stream by simply collecting rent. The franchisee lifts the heavy weight of actually selling the food, while corporate comfortably plays landlord. Section 4. Why this model wins. Why does this setup work so amazingly well? Well, it drastically reduces corporate risk, right? They don't have to stress over the daily ups and downs of burger sales when they have that guaranteed rent rolling in. It creates super reliable income. Plus, it leverages thousands of franchisees' own money to fuel lightning-fast global growth. Because these independent operators are investing their own capital, the company scales at a pace that would be basically impossible to fund on their own. Corporate income is basically flowing steadily from 3 distinct streams. You've got franchise fees, royalties, and rent. But the balance of power here is just staggering. While franchise fees and royalties take up roughly a quarter of the pie each, a massive 50% of this corporate income comes purely from rent. The real estate creates this unshakable financial foundation. It literally doesn't matter how many fries are sold on a random Tuesday afternoon. Section 5. The ultimate business lesson. So, what does this all mean? This whole explainer really drives home one profound truth. The biggest opportunity isn't always the product people notice first. We see the burgers, the fries, those bright glowing signs. But sometimes, the absolute true financial powerhouse comes entirely from a hidden business model working quietly in the background. Honestly, understanding how these companies actually make their money, it changes everything. Once you realize that the lunch being handed to you over the counter might just be a vehicle for a massive real estate transaction, it opens up a whole new way of thinking. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to end on today. What other universally known brands are secretly hiding their true moneymaker right in plain sight? Seriously, think about the stores you visit every single day. Are they really selling what you think they're selling? Keep that in mind next time you're waiting in line. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep your eyes open.